Hello, everybody, and welcome to the September 21st, 2021 edition of the Comedy Cellar Football Show with me, Dave Juskow. Also brought to you by the that are all legendary Comedy Cellar comics. So it is going to be a wonderful night of football, comedy, and magic with no magic. But it's so nice to see everybody. I hope everybody had a great week and a great football weekend, which, of course, is the greatest. The weather, at least here in New York City, has been picture perfect the way it's supposed to be in September, which makes this the greatest time of the year. I think I'm going to go to the Giants game this weekend, or at least to the tailgate, because, I like the drink. And I'm trying to hit two things at the same time, so I haven't decided, but I think I'm going to go because, you don't want to miss the September games. Because the September games are what it's all about. Because, who wants to go in December? I mean, I'm not a diehard Giants fan. I'm more of a Jets fan, and now I'm even just too old to even do that because I don't care to go to the games. I don't want to go to an outdoor arena. If I do go, I want to sit in the owner's box or, in a nice, cushy, warm place where you can tell the attendant to get you some hot cocoa and a bourbon. Because I'm kind of a sissy that way, and I like it. But that is the only way I'm going in ever again. Because, again, I told you, when you go to the football games, even when Lenny Marcus, who's going to be our guest today, gets you the good Giant seats, you're on the 50-yard line, but everybody's getting up. They're going to the bathroom. They're going to get something to eat. It's a very disturbing thing when I could be watching completely in the comforts of my own home, especially watching the Red Zone channel. But let me tell you that our guests today are first in the 6 o'clock hour, Marina Franklin. And Marina is the best. She's like one of my best pals. We've been doing a little Facebook live show every Saturday at 3 together to promote her legendary podcast, which is called Friends Like Us. And I'll just tell you right now, I'm going to make it open, but she's opening or featuring for Jim Gaffigan at Radio City Music Hall this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's a pretty big gig. We both opened for Jim during the pandemic. I guess once the pandemic finished, I wasn't on the lineup anymore. That's okay. Whatever. I mean, it happens. So whatever. It's cool. But no, she's the best. And I can't wait for her to be here. And then Lenny Marcus comes in. And Lenny is, again, I was going to say this in the intro, but this is the intro. Lenny is not only a really terrific stand-up comic, he also, for years, way before he became a comic, has been working for the Giants as a statistician. So he goes to every home Giants game, works out his schedule. So he doesn't even worked out his marriage to make sure that the Giants want to buy, or in London, I believe, that weekend. It's like really funny, but he only has to be at work. Well, now 9 times a year. It used to be 8. So not a lot to ask. And he will be here. And he's also got his brand new show with Leslie Jones, Supermarket Sweep, starting its second season this Sunday. So all my guests today are completely current and what they have coming up. Perfect timing for a great show that is going to be today. Now, I will tell you what happened to me this weekend after Yom Kippur, after the fasting was finished. And we'll just say that I didn't eat or drink because I live alone and nobody will know. But after I was finished, I went out with the Roastmaster General, Jeffrey Ross, and we went to this social club, which is a private snobatorium, called Zero Bond, I think, because it's on Bond Street and the address is 0, something like that. It's cute, but it was a nice place, a place I would never go on my own. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden this guy comes in, and I'll tell you the backstory in a second, but the guy comes in, and I think it's Stifler from American Pie. It's like, I don't think it's Stifler, but it's like, where do I know this guy? This guy looks so familiar. He's a handsome fella. He looks like a movie star. And they go, this is Julie. And it turns out it's Julian Edelman. Yes, from the Super Bowl MVP from 2019, the worst Super Bowl ever. But, he doesn't care. You're not going to, the worst Super Bowl ever. He's still going to have one of those big rings. And he was the MVP. And he's like my height. So that is a huge achievement. Meanwhile, he's my height, but his hands are like huge. They're piano playing hands. I'm joking, of course. But it was so cool. He was so cool. I didn't realize. They're like, this is Julian. I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. I didn't know who he was. And then they start talking something about football. Well, Julian knows this kind of stuff. And I'm like, what are you talking? What are you, Julian Edelman or something? He goes, yeah. And I'm, what? And then I went crazy because I was like really excited to meet him. Obviously, he's one of my heroes. He's a Hebrew. In fact, when I met him, I said, oh my God, now I can put you in the leaflet of greatest Jewish sports legends that they have in the movie Airplane. So it'll be you and Sandy Koufax. the leaflet, famous Jewish sports legends. But it was exciting. He was like, "Yeah, I was fasting all day," and I'm like, "You were?" He goes, "Yeah, I went on a 14-mile bike ride and I didn't drink or eat it." I'm like, "Jesus, only an athlete could pull that off. Who would go on a 14-mile bike ride on Yom Kippur?" That's unbelievable. Anyway, the weird part is this, and it is sports related. I'm sitting there with Jeff, the Roastmaster General. I'm bragging about everything. And he says, I'm doing this new show. I don't think it's a secret. I think it's on Fox. It's a reality show where him and Ray Lewis, another Super Bowl winner from the Baltimore Ravens, are going to go to Panama and rough it. I don't really know the premise, but I know you don't get voted off or anything. Apparently, you stay on as long as you want and see how long you can take it, I guess, for like a month. For me, it sounds like the worst show. For me, it would be a nightmare. That would be something I wouldn't participate in unless it was the most amount of money I'd ever heard of, but I doubt it's that much money. But anyway, they're going, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, how can that be? Because Ray Lewis is on my favorite show, which is Inside the NFL, which I've been watching, for 30 years. Nick Bonaconte and Len Dawson and Chris Collinsworth in the day. And I've been watching it. I watch it every year during this time, and it was moved to Showtime from HBO. And then I realized, he goes, well, I don't know. And then I realized, my DVR, because I'm an old man, didn't record the Inside the NFL this year. Now that you think about it, I wonder if it went off the air finally after all these years. I feel like would have heard something about it. So then it's weird. So then Julian Edelman is sitting down, and I got photos, which I'll show you later when Lenny's on. You have to wait 2 hours for them. Where, he's right next to me, and I go, oh, you know what? That reminds me. What are you doing now? He goes, oh, I'm on Inside the NFL. And I'm like, what? What, did you just listen to our conversation? He goes, no, who'd you replace? And he goes, well, Ray Lewis. And I'm like, oh my God, this all makes sense. He didn't really replace Ray. Ray will be back and forth like Michael Irvin, and him, I guess, will switch off. But it was so weird. We were having that conversation before them. The guy has all the answers. I'm like, well, how come my DVR didn't record it last week if you're on? He goes, oh, they moved to Paramount Plus. And I'm like, thank you, Julian Edelman, for answering all my questions today. I love this guy. I love him anyway. I mean, he was so cool, and he's friendly and nice. And then we drink together, we bond, break a little bread together, have a little meal. What a super guy. And I'm trying to get him on this show. But unfortunately, they record Inside the NFL on Tuesdays. Of course they do. So we might been talking to move maybe 1 week to a Wednesday from like 7 to 9, so we can have Julian Edelman on the show and Sarah Silverman, because Sarah, she has an obligation to always be on my sports picking show once a year, and she tapes her podcast on Tuesday. So moving on Wednesday, we can have Julian and Sarah on the same show, and well, that's a pretty good goddamn show. So might be worth moving 1 week. I don't usually like to do that. I'm a creature of habit, as I think everybody knows at this point. Kind of a stickler for kind of detail like that, but whatever the case may be. Meanwhile, I also where I hung out with Bob Saget last night, which was, I'm just pulling out all the stops at the Comedy Cellar. That's the thing about the Comedy Cellar, man. I was there on Sunday. I got photos of that. Ray Romano came in. Yesterday I was there. Bob Saget came in. I'm friendly with his daughter, not the Olsen twins. He actually has other daughters, although he's still very friendly with the Olsen twins. And he's really a really great guy and really funny. And I think he might have been here for Norm Macdonald purposes, maybe some sort of memorial or something. I'm not exactly sure, but great guy. He was at the Comedy Cellar last night. So that's what I'm telling you. The Comedy Cellar truly is the best comedy club, at least in the country, and it could be in the world, because we get a lot of people that come from Australia or France or London that are dying to play here, at the Comedy Cellar. So anytime you're in town or Las Vegas, you should always visit. Now, this week in the NFL was a very exciting week. I mean, the NFL never disappoints, but there were 3 one-point games, especially that Sunday one with the Chiefs and the Ravens, 36-35. And that was a very exciting game with a very strange outcome, with the fumble at the end. And the Giants-Washington game on Thursday night, 30-29. And that unbelievable Vikings-Cardinals game, 34-33. I think I got 2 out of the 3. I picked the Ravens plus the points, the Giants plus points, and I missed on the Cardinals. I don't like to bet against the Cardinals when they're at home, but that might have been a long time ago. I might get it all wrong. But anyway, very exciting stuff. And we're obviously going to talk about this week and talk a little about that week later on with Lenny. Also, I've been watching there's one in Las Vegas. I'm talking to Venus Boys 3 in the chat room. Yes, there's a Comedy Cellar Las Vegas hosted by the amazing Mark Cohen, who we will have on this show in the coming weeks. Mark Cohen is the house MC, and Mark Cohen kind of started the Comedy Cellar. He's an origin story and a living legend in the comedy world, and now he is the house MC at the Vegas. It's at the Rio Grande Hotel, I believe, the Rio, or maybe it's just called the Rio. And it's been there for maybe 2 years because of COVID. I get confused, but yeah, it opened just before. Meanwhile, I was, I wanted to talk about Tom Brady because he's just sick and he's obviously up to something. Somebody should check him out. What he does is not normal at that age. And, please, I think we need to check him for something. He needs to get the full FBI treatment. He's up to something. Nobody can be that good at his age. It's incredible. And then you take Zach Wilson and Trevor Lawrence, the number 1 and 2 guys, and they haven't won a game. At least it makes me happy, being a Jets fan, that Trevor Lawrence also hasn't won a game. Because remember, we lost him in the draft. And I like Zach Wilson a lot. But both of them haven't won a game. And we really, the Jets fans were booing this past weekend because this was the one. No more Tom Brady. You got a brand new coaching staff, a brand new quarterback. We're like, maybe they can at least keep it close with the New England Patriots. It was a disaster. But they're not booing the Zach or anything. They're booing 50 years of horribleness. That's what it's coming to. Like when the Mets were booing Francisco Lindor the other day, they're booing Francisco because he makes a lot of money to not be productive. But they're just booing the organization. So, Zach, if you're watching, and I know you love this show, don't take it personally. Because if you did, you can't work in New York City. Also, I got a lot of topics, but I just wanted to tell you one thing. When I first started my podcast, it's called The Night Fly, and it's on Spotify and everything. The Night Fly with Dave Juskow. I've been doing it for 7 years. It used to be a football pick'em show and a television show, like, what's new, what's coming out, especially the fall preview. I used to love that. But now it's not necessary because, there's all these other stations. I'm the last person that watches network, which is why I don't know why they're not making more network shows for me, Dave Juskow. But there's one coming up called Domino Masters. I'm so excited about it. I can't stand it, except that it's a reality show. So they'll have those stupid behind the scenes and the one-offs talking to the camera. Like, this is going to change my life. There, you could shut up. But if they're building those elaborate dominoes things and then they're going to tip them over, I am so all in on that. I can't wait for that. I think it's a mid-season replacement. And it has the Winnie from the Wonder Years, who's so hot. So I'm all in on that. And there's also another show that's from the Nancy Drew spinoff in CW, because I'm a 15-year-old boy, and she's really hot. This guy, Tom Swift, who used to be a book from like 1916, who, makes a bunch of scientific gadgets and stuff. And I like that. He's a black gay guy, and I'm okay with it.
Tom Swift, like the 20s.
Yeah. 1916 was one of the books I had the other day. Yeah, it's like the Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew, and this guy, Tom Swift. So I don't know. That looks like fun for me. And they checked all the boxes: black, gay, and rich. So he'll be like Rodney Dangerfield and back to school. It'll be great. Anyway, we will start the show. We got a big show for you. It's going to be terrific. It's already started out great with Marina Franklin coming up right after this.
Well, folks, that was a disaster. That's the best way to be able to put it, I guess. What a wild finish to the Thursday night game. Washington had chances a couple different times in this game to put it away. And it's just unbelievable how this thing ended. It's just incredible. This thing is just amazing all in all. I can't even imagine how you have to feel as a Giants fan on how all of this went down. I can't imagine how you have to feel as a Washington fan as it all goes down. It's just amazing how this thing ended up. I mean, it's crazy, right? It's just, how do you put into words, again, when you go back and see all that happened in the final 4 minutes, 6 minutes? All the things that went down, everything that went through, all of this together. I mean, Hopkins misses the field goal, and the Giants are offsides to give them another chance. You cannot lose a game in this fashion if you're the Giants. And if you're Washington, how crazy was that in the last, again, 4 minutes of game time?
Bill Rowland talking DC sports every Tuesday morning, live from 10 to noon, and available for download at thecontender.com.
Well, when you used to come to my office, it was like that, right?
Yes, especially like it was exciting because I went into this office and there was like real people with real jobs, and then you, this deep fool in the middle of it. I was like, how does this man get in this building?
It's the Comedy Cellar Football Show with Dave Juskow on The Contender. Before the game and after the game, there's no better coverage than right here on The Contender.
Hi, everybody. We're back. Thank you for joining us at the Comedy Cellar Football Show and The Contender. The Contender is mostly does Washington, D.C. and Chicago sports for now. So they talk the Washington football team and Bears talk for the Chicago audience. So make sure you download the free app on iPhone and Android, The Contender live sports talk, and never plays any commercials. Well, we are very excited to bring in my pal, and she is awesome. Her extremely popular podcast is called Friends Like Us and was listed as a podcast everyone should listen to by Oprah Magazine, except for white males over 50 named Dave Juskow. Wait, that's in the copy? Okay. Her outstanding comedy special entitled Single Black Female can be found on Apple TV, Amazon Prime, and other streaming platforms. And most importantly, if that wasn't enough, this little lady will be at Radio City Music Hall, wow, this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, featuring for the great Jim Gaffigan. Please welcome to the program, Marina Franklin, everybody. What the? Hey, you're doing my bit. I'm always reading that Shakespeare book when you come on.
This says When She Was White.
Oh, who was white? Michael Jackson?
It's a true book. It's a story about a young lady in South Africa who everyone thought was white.
Oh, I thought about that about you the first time I met you.
I was going to grab the Dick Gregory book, but that's the word is too strong.
Well,
Sorry for my background, but
yeah, I was going to say, what is that? Your apartment?
That's the back. Because I have to run to the cellar.
Darn, I had a feeling, I was just going to say, our producer Mike is down there. You probably could have gone in the room and done it from there, so you wouldn't have to. I didn't know he was in town. I'm sorry. It would have been a little more convenient, I guess. But I can't believe you're playing Radio City. That is so exciting. You and I and Jim over the pandemic played it, but why did it go dark?
I don't know. All I did was minimize this. I just expanded the screen. I went into full screen and it made me darker.
Oh, the light from your monitor.
Well, anyway, again, and let me just say, in case anybody does want to call, our number is 855-908-5668.
Call me if you need someone to talk to.
There it is.
Call me. Call me.
That's nice. See, she has a very nice voice.
Satisfaction guarantee.
I just want to say, Marina and I performed with Jim over the pandemic, which was amazing, at three huge venues where everybody was in their cars. I'm sure it's going to be a little different in a full packed house in Radio City. Are you nervous? You're still a little afraid of COVID, as am I, but I mean,
No.
at least you're okay.
Look at that answer. I'm not the headliner. The one thing that is really awesome is when you're featuring, you do a shorter set. The pressure isn't on you. The only thing that is different with opening for Jim is he is clean. And it is Radio City Music Hall, so I do have to, clean it up a bit. It's family fun, right?
Well, that's the funny thing. And make sure you talk into your microphone. As that
I am.
when you'd think that. But
I am.
What the hell? No, remember when he asked, at least me, I'm saying to do it. I remember he never said, it's cool. He's good about it. He doesn't say you got to be clean.
No.
He just, but if you're a professional, you understand that it's Jim and you know how he works and you want to change your act and make sure you don't curse. I don't think he cares what we do, and you and I aren't really super dirty, but yeah, I remember thinking, I'm like, geez, I guess I should be clean, but he never said anything about it, but I know he's a clean act. But it's difficult to change like that sometimes, right? Because sometimes you're throwing out curse words, you don't even know you're saying it.
Like big pussy. I can't say big pussy.
That's probably best.
That'd probably not be good for Radio City Music Hall. I got a big pussy.
Well, it would be good if you were maybe doing Chappelle's show at Radio
Did you
City.
see just people buying, they haven't yet entered the showroom and they hear that?
What's going on in there? Yeah. That sounds so exciting. Have you ever played there before?
No, never.
Wow.
It's funny because I've done other Lincoln Center, I believe, where I did also the
Town Hall.
I
saw you on there. You were amazing
with
the NPR people. Right.
The NPR people for Prairie Home Companion.
Right. That was terrific. That was really exciting. Thank you for bringing me to that. I'd always wanted to see how that was done. And it was very, very entertaining to see it work because I'd listened to it on the radio for years. So to see it live, I always wondered, and it's really live. There's no edits. It's actually live, like people running in and out. And they made a movie about it. Remember with Meryl Streep and Lindsay Lohan, and it's god awful.
Yeah, I never really watched that movie.
Nobody can. It's really unwatchable. And for some reason, they keep letting Meryl Streep sing in movies, and she's awful. She's okay. But she sings in 4 movies, and she's just okay.
There's always someone out there who was probably in her class who was like, she's not really that good, you guys.
She's not that great an actress.
I don't know. I mean, she got better because you guys gave her a chance. But if you ask me, she always was singing. We were like, please stop.
Right. Yeah, no, it's funny. I think if she wasn't one of the greatest actresses of all time, maybe the greatest, I don't think they'd let her sing so much. She's like, no, I want to sing. All right. Yeah, she sings in Postcards from the Edge. She sings in the Prairie Home Companion. She sings in Mamma Mia. Kind of ruins the ABBA stuff. And it's probably a 4th one I'm just not thinking of. Oh, yeah, I know what it is. I think isn't it one? Oh, yeah, it's called Ricky and the Flash.
Oh, I thought it was Bridges of Madison County.
So she's singing that one too?
It would have been fun if she did.
Yeah, that's true. I
would have picked up the story a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Clint Eastwood would have been like, I really like a girl that can sing. I'm doing
Walked out the door.
No, I was asking about Radio City because you're afraid of COVID for all the people.
Oh, no, I'm on my 3rd booster, so, you know.
That's right. You got your booster shot. That's right.
Even though it takes 2 weeks for it to kick in, really. So I still wear my mask, so I do all, I'm not as strict as I used to be. I know that, there's measured risks and there's risks that you take with everything. And this is one of them. But it's Radio City Music Hall, so I'm sure they'll have strict COVID guidelines because they want to stay open. And this is part of Broadway's opening. So I'm sure they're doing everything they can to make sure they stay open.
Yeah. And the thing is, and it's funny, only Marina, there's only a handful of us who can talk about what it's like to perform for no one, when everybody's in their car. I mean, that's such a strange experience. Hopefully we'll take to our grave. It won't happen again. But yeah, everybody's got to stay in their cars with the windows shut. No laughs. Again, I've mentioned it multiple times. That's why they hired me, because I'm good at this. Not waiting for laughs.
Yeah, it was good for you.
Yeah, it was. No, it was
Do you
so
hear
much
that
fun.
dog?
No,
This girl.
I'm not going to get you started with that restaurant below you. That
No, it's
makes
not the
trouble.
restaurant. It's just this dog. This girl just like she just moved in. Everyone's just moving into the building, and it's like her dog just. I love animals, you know that, but
I do know because I have a surprise for you later. Not a surprise, but we're going to talk about that later on.
but the dog won't stop. So I'm sorry if you hear that.
I do not hear it. I know Marina always has something that's going on in her building that she's complaining about.
We're creating a Google Doc right now for the building.
I wonder if you would have complained about it if you were 22.
I do. I wonder that often, but then I'm meeting the younger tenants who are just moved in because they were getting away with stuff because there was no one in the building. You see.
Right. That makes sense. Right. Exactly.
But now, as I was talking to one lady, because I gather Karens.
Yes.
So I was talking to one. I said, "What you need to do is this and this and this," and she's like, "Oh, okay." And she was young. And then another young girl passed me. She's like, "Oh, I'm so glad you guys are talking about this because I have a problem with this too." And then I talked to the girl who's underneath me, and she's like, "I'm creating a Google Doc for us." And I was like, "Yes."
Yeah, it's scary to
Celebrate
you do not want
good times. Come on.
You do not want to cross Marina.
Karen's going to celebrate.
So I don't know whether you heard it just happened. The man that filmed Rodney King's beating. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Just died of COVID and he wasn't vaccinated. Boom.
Well, I mean, yeah.
He wanted to catch it. He was hoping to catch it because he said, "I'll build up immunities that way." And he ended up getting worse and worse and he died. He didn't want to get vaccinated. A classic story.
I'll tell you, every time someone called, I won't say his name. But he said to me this week, he goes, "Well, I already got COVID." I said, "You know how dumb you sound?" Do you know how dumb you sound? I mean, I've heard this so many times from people like, "Well, I got it, so I can't get it again." I'm like, you don't read, do you?
Well, I think it's funny they're getting the COVID vaccine ready for young kids,
Yes.
possibly by Halloween, which just doesn't seem. I don't know. For some reason, it seems like the person in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, like the child catcher. We're getting it ready for Halloween, children. It just seems like that's the wrong thing to do. I don't know why.
I don't know. I mean, I have people in my family who I think that I'm just finding out that they're going to school and they don't want to get vaccinated. And hey, you just got to pray for those folks and hope for the best.
Hope for the best. That's what we do. Of course, if you want to call in, 855-08-5668 through the Contender app. That's with a K. Marina Franklin will be at the Comedy Cellar this evening. If you are indeed, in fact, in New York City, you'll be able to see her in all her glory perform her amazing comedy getting set up.
With these glasses on.
Good. I mean, good for you. But you'll be able to see her getting her set up on for Radio City Music Hall. Man, that is really unbelievable.
Isn't it?
It really is. All right. We are going to share my screen.
Should I do like a rocket dance?
We are going to do what?
Should I do like a rocket dance, like the Rockets? Like just do like a 2 minutes of me just kicking my legs up in the air?
Rockets.
Oh, what did I say? Rockets?
Yeah, that's why you had me confused.
Oh, the Rockets. Yes, that's right. I always get things wrong.
Beer Bike says he wish he was in New York City so he could see you.
I was trying to do a quote today. A threat to injustice everywhere is but I get it wrong every single time.
Anyway, I just want you to know our phones are open at 855.
They're open, folks.
All right, I'm going to share my screen, Marina, and you're going to make 5 football picks. It's called the Celebrity 5.
Oh, I got to put my glasses.
And let's see what we can do here. It takes me a second because I don't understand how this works. Here we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes. I feel like I'm doing an eye test.
All right. So you were going to make 5 picks. I just chose 5 games for you. I know you know nothing about football, but sometimes those are the people that seem to win it all. I picked for you the New York Giants, which of course is Lenny Marcus's team. They are playing the Atlanta Falcons. They are both 0-2. They both need the game. Should the Giants be favored over anybody? Who knows? Marina, what do you think?
I think I heard something about how the Giants suck this year, but
Did you hear that?
I don't pay attention, but it just seeps into my, consciousness. So I guess I'm gonna go with it. Even though I'm from New York, I have a feeling I'm right.
That it's the Atlanta Falcons. Excellent. I also chose for you the Chicago Bears at the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland is favored by 7.5 points. Do you think that the Chicago Bears can at least keep it close? You love your Bears.
Do I think they could keep it close or win?
They don't have to win. They just need to keep it close.
I think the Chicago Bears is time for them to come back. I think they can keep it close, but I'm not sure. I don't really believe in that
Picking
thought.
our hometown, Chicago Bears.
But I'd be remiss is that how you say that?
Yeah, and I think they can keep it close. I think that's a good bet. Great pick, as Lee Corso always says. All right, then we have the Super Bowl champion Tom Brady unbelievableness as a 44-year-old Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the LA Rams, both 2-0, and the Buccaneers are favored on the road. But this is pretty much you got to pick who's going to win.
Who's the skeleton?
That's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's a pirate ship. Arr.
Why did they do that to themselves?
I don't know.
So you say that's Tom Brady, the Buccaneers?
That's right.
Let's go with Tom Brady.
Smart move.
He been looking kind of like he's on a mission to play until he's in his 60s.
You got that right. And then this is kind of the game of the week in a way. The Green Bay Packers, who beat the crap out of Detroit Lions yesterday, against the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco.
Interesting.
Your thoughts?
Well, San Francisco. My sister's in San Francisco, but I think Green Bay is always a better bet.
But you do get some points if you take them. They don't have to win. They can just keep it close.
What, the San Francisco people?
No, the Green Bay Packers with the
Let's go with Green Bay. I think Green Bay.
Good choice. And finally, I had to pick this one for Keith Robinson's sake because I'm hoping you bet against them so we can tell him. The Dallas Cowboys minus 3.5.
I don't even have to finish. Let's just bet against the Dallas. Anything that Keith Robinson picks, I'm going to disagree with.
Excellent. Look, you picked all underdogs. Well, technically one favorite, but I love it. Marina Franklin's picks for week 3, the Celebrity 5.
Where do I get paid?
Oh, you don't get paid.
What?
Yeah, that's not the way it works.
No.
Oh, sorry about that. I should have warned you before the show. But yes, isn't it?
Do I have to watch these games now?
No. Well, it's fun. I mean, then if we set up a money thing, then yes. But no, I mean, we just want to make sure that all of Keith's teams lose, right?
Yes.
Well, they won last week, so he must be pretty happy. We're talking about
the Cowboys are pretty strong.
Keith Robinson, which we would have on this show, but he is very unreliable when it comes to Zoom. So
he said he wanted to get on my podcast and yell and tell everyone how I was wrong.
Well, it is funny.
I know.
Oh, look at this. Somebody just wrote, Marina, did you do a show at Resorts Work? This is hilarious, folks. Did you do a show at Resorts Work Monticello with Sarah Silverman? Because if that was you, like I think it was, you were the funniest comedian in the whole show. Okay, I was on that show with her, so I take umbrage to this remark. Delaware.
Yeah, it's not a good compliment when you do that. You could just say I was funny and I'll take it, but it's just not
actually really funny since I was also on the show.
I mean, but I normally say that, but in this case, you could say everyone was funny but Jusko. And,
right.
And
I
that's okay.
Worded that way, right? We're all okay with that.
But yes, that was me on that show.
Yes, me too.
About 10 pounds lighter, but yes, that was me.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. That's where you bought. She said you should be the main comic. She or he. I don't know.
Oh well, we're all working. It's hard to be the headliner. It's easy to be the feature.
Plus, Sarah was working out new material.
Yes, it's a lot going on.
It's not really fair.
It's not fair. I always tell people, like, like when they say that to me, I'm like, when the person's headlining and they're working on new stuff and they've got like it takes years to develop material. It really does.
But
thank you.
The funny thing is that Marina and I have been touring. Like we were touring every summer for a while. We toured with Sarah 2 summers ago, and then with Jim last summer, and then this summer we had nothing. We're very upset,
right? We didn't.
We love
We
touring
really
during the
didn't.
summer.
We didn't do any. Well, this is one. This doing the Radio City Music Hall is nice because we were supposed to do this before the pandemic. It was put off.
Right.
So this is his makeup show.
Right. But I noticed I'm not on it. It's not.
But you were never. You weren't originally booked.
No,
on that.
I know. I'm just kidding. Ted Alexandra's on it, right? He's terrific.
You could come though.
What am I, some sort of asshole? I mean, that's cool. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. No,
they need someone to like say hi to people in the bathroom.
I knew there was something. I knew it. Yes, 855-908-5668.
Make sure you wash your hands.
No, I don't mind. I love all of you. Even Ted Alexandra is terrific too. So I'm glad. I'm really happy for you, Marina. That's very, very exciting. It's kind of funny because think about this, folks. When you're doing a show like this, Marina and I do a show for her show every Saturday at 3:00 live on Facebook. And the funny thing is, she'll have just been coming off her Friday performance at Radio City Music Hall. Then she's just sitting in her house at 3:00 in the afternoon. We're just talking shit. And after that, she's got to go to Radio City Music Hall to perform again. I mean, it's like, wow. That's like so intense.
So I have a lot of stories.
What was that, like 5,000 people? Or is it that many? Or I don't know, 2,000?
That is a lot of people.
I think it's something like that. It can't be 5,000, but it must be like at least, it's got to be like 2,000. I don't know. We'll look it up in a second.
I guess and all those people have to be vaccinated. Yep. So the Brazilian guy can't come. What's the Brazilian prime minister? He refuses. He doesn't believe in vaccination.
Well, a lot of people don't.
So they showed a picture of him eating pizza on the street.
Well, he's obviously an idiot. It comes from upbringing. Parents are idiots too.
He's like, oh, just eat on the street then.
Okay, this part of the show, Marina, it's called "Which of These Stories is False?" Ooh. Okay, I'm going to name 3 celebrity-based stories, and you have to tell me which one is the false one. Okay.
Okay.
And it's a very slight false. Gisele Bündchen, that's Tom Brady's wife, blasts fellow Victoria's Secret angel Judson Crowes over her anti-vaccine comments. Number 1. Number 2, Angela Bassett becomes a wax figure at Madame Tussauds. Or number 3, the Backstreet Boys postpone their Vegas residency to 2022. That's the big news. Which of those stories is the phony one?
That's a hard one.
It is a hard one because it's a very slight falsity.
Okay, so I do think that was it Angela Bassett?
Angela Bassett, right? Because they need to be like, why does Angela Bassett have a wax figure?
Because she's an amazing actress. What do you mean? So that's definitely true.
All right, that's true.
And what was the last one? The Backstreet Boys?
Yep.
They postponed their residency.
Vegas residency because people care.
Until when?
2022.
Oh. Well, good luck with that, Backstreet Boys, because
well,
people are gonna be like, back who?
Exactly. That's why it's funny. Why postpone it? But no, the false story was the Gisele Bündchen blasting the Judson Crowes.
Yeah, no,
over her.
I knew. I was gonna say that's the false story.
Sided with her. She was.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
You didn't let me finish.
Well, I never do. I thought that's our dynamic.
Oh, I thought it was a competition.
No, it was. I was asking you, but I never, I always talk over you. That's what I thought we did.
But I definitely think the first one was too wordy and convoluted.
True. Well, that's the difference.
Does that make sense?
Yes, but that's the difference that Gisele didn't blast her comments about anti-vaccination. She said, whatever. She's allowed to say what she wants.
It's really funny talking about Nicki Minaj's cousin, whose apparently balls got really big because he got vaccinated with my nieces who love Nicki Minaj. So I had to go, do you still stand with Nicki or what's going on, kids?
What do they say?
They giggle because they think about the balls comment, obviously. And then my one niece is like, I can still disagree with her and still like her music. And I was like, yes,
That's like Michael Jackson in a way.
Oh no, it's very different.
Is it? I don't know. I still like Michael Jackson's music, but
I mean, I don't know.
you know, they're coming up with the Broadway show is coming out in December. I wonder if that's something people will go to.
Yes,
It's like a jukebox musical.
because
But
people, from what we've seen, they are out of their minds. I mean, you know, I do like, I do still enjoy his music, but I keep it in the back of my mind. Like,
it's the same with Woody Allen too. All right, I'm going to show you a couple of slides I think you're going to like a lot because, like I said, there are some animals in it. So let me. Here we go. All right, I assume you can see this.
yes.
This is Michigan Wolverines, the big house in Michigan, and I thought you might like it because I assume you would think of this as a super spreader. It's like 107,000 people there. This was last Saturday.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. In Michigan?
Yeah. Wouldn't this be your worst
Forget
nightmare?
it. Look at all those people who just agree on being idiots.
Well, they're college kids. You know, they're young. You know,
That,
I mean, this
again,
is the thing. And they didn't get to go last year. So
we need to fight for elder citizen rights, Just Gal, because this is how they're going to take care of us. You do realize.
Oh no, we're screwed.
This is what this
need to move to
generation.
Asia. That's the only place where they take care of their elderly.
This is this is what this generation is saying to us.
Yeah, we're doomed. But every generation does that to the older folks. It's not just anybody else.
Do they?
Of course they do. We just don't recognize it in our time. You know that's true. Yeah, where do you think that we're like got rotten kids? They don't respect nothing. Where do you think that comes from?
Oh my God.
So this is a pachinko parlor in Japan where they're giving out vaccinations. Fucking brilliant, right? They're sitting there playing slots and they're giving out vaccinations. That's the smartest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Well, here's the thing. The way this woman is also bent over, it actually doesn't take that much work. When I got my booster, I mean, she hit me and I was like, oh, did you just do that? You just hit me?
Well, yeah, no, it
it's
doesn't
done?
take much work.
It doesn't take that much work. They're
Down that
being
line,
over
they're able to
dramatic.
gamble and get their shots at the same time.
Yeah, it's a
Brilliant.
good idea. You got to get them, but I mean, in America, that doesn't look like an American. In America,
No,
that's
it's
going to be a
Japan.
challenge.
It's Japan.
Yeah, in America's
saying.
casinos, you're going to get a lot of fights.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. This is a really interesting way of dishing out the vaccinations. You know, that's all. And this guy, you know, you love this guy, Greg App, right?
Oh, look, Venus Boys is here. Hello, Venus.
Yes, Venus Boys.
Should do that in Vegas. Get a free vaccination with every jackpot.
Exactly. So this is your favorite, and doesn't it look like all these guys? This is Greg Abbott, the Texas governor, and everybody that's surrounding him looks like they're just about to use the N-word.
Except for the black man.
Well, they just put him in there for, I think we all know that.
They also look like they just finished eating like a ton of red meat.
Well, a ton of barbecue.
Yeah,
Believe me,
Texas
you
barbecue.
You know how I love doing that, Coach from LSU. You believe me? You go to Michael. You go to a gas station. You're gonna have the best barbecue you ever had in your life.
Do you know my cousin? I was writing. Oh my God, this picture is
Jim
great.
Norton.
Is it really?
No, I'm kidding. It's I have to describe it for people who are listening.
It really does look like Jim.
It's a huge sculpture in Australia that is on the beach, and it completely looks like Jim Norton.
It does.
You have to once you watch the app, you got to look at the YouTube thing and see this photo. It's really funny. What were you going to say about your cousin? I'm sorry.
I was going to say I was wearing my cousin's shirt for barbecue, and I was on my bike going to Whole Foods on the city bike, and this guy stopped me. He says, "Where's that barbecue?" And I was like, "Hey, this shirt is good."
Yeah, well, that's all I ever. There's nothing better than awesome barbecue. I like that dinosaur barbecue. It's pretty good.
Even though I don't eat meat, but
Right. Well, you should, because barbecue. I'm telling you, Michael, it's going to be the best barbecue you ever had. You can go to a gas station.
Is that Mr. Bean?
No, just a random. I think it is somebody, but somebody we don't know because it might be an Australian actor or something. Anyway, here's the statue of Angela Bassett in Madame Tussauds. Look how good that wax figure is.
It's as good as she.
Do you know which one is which?
I'm thinking it would have to be the one in the spicy outfit, the red stuff.
Yes,
because-
it's the one on the right. Yeah, I was fooled for a second. Yeah, just
Which is, I want to wear that outfit to Radio City Music Hall.
you know what? When I saw this, I didn't realize how pretty Angela Bassett was.
What?
I don't know. I always think of her.
You've
as
never
kinda,
seen her?
Well, I saw her in the Tina Turner movie, and she didn't.
Did you see her in Black Panther?
She was in Black Panther.
Yes.
Who was she in Black Panther?
She,
Can't remember. I like that movie.
Yeah, she's amazing, and she
mom.
aged. Yeah.
Oh,
Thank
his
you. Yeah, his
mom.
mom.
I guess
Thank
I
you
forgot.
for
I like that. There was a really pretty girl in it that was like making all the inventions. I liked her.
Yeah, that was she's a young actress. Yeah, she was so cool.
Oh, she's so
but
cute.
Angela Bassett is stunning.
I was so
She's
jealous. You
Beautiful.
know, I
She
wanted to
played
play the
Tina
white guy.
Turner. Do you remember
Yeah.
when she played Tina?
No, of course. That's the only thing. She was amazing, and she won an Oscar, I believe. I think
mean,
she won.
is the most underrated actress. Like
Well,
she does.
that's the funny thing. She won an Oscar, and then you don't really hear about her that much anymore.
Because she's black. Meryl Streep and her. You know, she ain't doing no Madison Bridges, but she should have.
You're right, because I think she was on like 911 on Fox, and I'm like, why is Angela Bassett doing a TV show like almost a reality? It's
She's
kind of weird.
classic. There's no one like, she went to the Yale School of Drama. That's why she moves her lips like that when she acts. They say the Yale School of Drama actors, they always use their lips.
Yes, you have to enunciate.
Enunciate your words.
That's right. This is just a picture of a squirrel that I thought was funny.
He went to the
because
Yale School of Drama.
he has his lips on. No, this is a squirrel that found a nut harvesting machine and went crazy, and you see he has all those nuts in his mouth. And it just reminded me of the Bugs Bunny episode where he finds all those giant carrots in Jack and the Beanstalk Bunny show, and he just makes he goes through and he makes like a mining car shaft for so he can get all the carrots together, and just like,
Oh, that's so
I don't know
funny.
why it reminded me of because it's like that it's real. You see this squirrel and you're like, wait, that's they do get that crazy if he's I hit the jackpot. That's a little thing, but this I thought you'd like.
Aw, but
Right?
it's not safe for the dog. I don't
well,
like that.
This is it's called this is a surf dog in a surfathon, a dog surfathon, 16th anniversary. They've been doing this 16 years in Del Mar, California, which is in San Diego, and it was last Sunday.
Yeah, I don't condone this for the
It's
dog.
a surf dog. Well, look at this one. This is a
No,
bulldog
yeah.
that's like totally. Where's there even a human looking after? At least the other ones, they were like, what? But it looks like they love it.
Yeah, until the shark comes.
Guys, you have to see this if you're listening to the app. It's dogs on surfboards. You can't go wrong. I don't think they
You
put them out
should
that
not.
far.
It's so dangerous.
Well, look at this guy. He's even wearing the sunglasses. You
Humans, what
can't
they.
put a price on this kind of comedy. I'm going there next year. I have to see
It is
this
so
live.
dangerous for the dogs.
It seems like they love it. Look, this is the first, second, and third prize.
God, look at the
First
little
prize
baby.
was Petey. See this little. This
Oh yeah, little Petey.
Yeah, what is
little
that? That's what kind of dog is that? That's like a
Um,
Maltese.
Terrier.
What is it? Oh, a terrier.
Yeah,
Right. Like in the one that won Best in Show in that.
It's like this stuff
Catherine O'Hara
gives me
movie.
so much anxiety because
See, second place was Derby, and third place was Rothstein.
I know you're
the lazy
excited.
Jew.
But this reminds me of when people are riding bikes and they have their dogs on the back. They shouldn't be doing that.
No, they shouldn't.
That was an underrated joke.
Thank you, Michael.
Wait, say it again?
Oh shit! I went
Oh
crazy.
shit!
I had all these pictures. No, then there's this dog who clearly fell off the surfboard, and then he was interviewed. And he's like, "I'd like to thank Jesus, and for keeping me safe out there."
Yeah, it's not safe.
It must be safe. I think in this day and age, they would not let the people do it if they thought it was not safe. It seems like
Do you, Jessica?
dogs.
Do you
love
know
going
what
in the
people
water.
do? They don't wear masks and they don't get vaccinated.
Well, nobody was wearing masks, I think, in this. You're right.
Yes.
Come on, this dog with the sunglasses. What's the matter with you? Why'd you lighten up?
No, I care
Meanwhile,
about
this
the
is
dog.
Rachel's baby with a dog that I took on Sunday.
Oh, really? Where's
Right?
this? At the cellar?
This is next door at that bar I like to hang out in. So and so Pete walked me over there before I went in. So she's here with the dog, and they're getting along, and then she runs into the bar. It was hilarious. She runs so fast. I don't know how he keeps up with this is why I think you have to be a young parent. This
Oh,
baby
absolutely.
was running down McDougal Street at the speed of lightning. I don't know
Just
how
like her mother.
Yeah, huh? Her mother doesn't move very fast.
Into a bar, she does.
Oh, right. Sorry, I didn't get you. Yes, she fought it back. Nice. But yeah, isn't that a cute baby?
Yes.
And here's where you have to play the game. Where's Juskow? And as it turns out, he's in the mirror behind.
That's a good picture of you, Juskow.
Well, I just got my hair cut, so.
Isn't that sad that I said a good picture of you is a reflection from a distance above liquor?
And this is my favorite picture of, when we were kids and we always dreamed about making a comedy album or a concert. You always wonder, what am I going to call it? And what is the cover going to be? And man, did you hit it. This is Marina Franklin, single black female. Guys, you got to look this up. If you don't look at the hour-long special, which is amazing. I've seen it multiple times. Just the cover. Her cat's trying to get in the door. It works for me on so many different levels. And I thought it was photoshopped. It's not.
And
it
Billy
is
for
cat.
life.
It's so
Look at
funny.
that.
I show it every time Marina's on the show. It makes me so happy. And I just have to breeze through. This is, of course, Gaffigan at Radio City Music Hall, and Marina featuring for the great Jim Gaffigan was the tweet she put out today. I can't even believe it, Marina. That's so exciting. And this is the Saturday show we do with you, me, and Evelyn. And I picked it where you love putting the comments above my face all the time. She does that on purpose, Mike.
It works the best. And there's my other background, just so you know. Like,
right.
I have
That's
two
why I got
backgrounds.
confused. But yeah, Marina's show, 3:00 on Facebook. And of course, her podcast, Friends Like Us.
Evelyn usually smiles, by the way. That was like, it looked like she was in the wind.
Yeah. Oh, there's Angela Bassett. With,
yes.
Right.
Look at beautiful.
Well, what are they going to do? I can't believe that guy died. I really enjoyed that. Oh, there's the pretty girl that I was talking about.
Yes.
I can't believe he's dead. It's so weird, right?
It's sad. Yeah.
It's
We've
so
lost some
sad.
great ones. Michael K. Williams, too. We've lost some really great black
really,
male actors.
I'll tell you that Marvel, they're so good. Even the movies I might not be into seeing. Wasn't sure if I'd like Black Panther. I don't know. And they turn out to be great. Not just Black Panther, even Avengers. I was like, I don't know if I like it. And I like every movie. They're so good. And then you watch the DC, which was always my favorite growing up, and they just don't get it.
You didn't like the last one? What was with the what are they?
Suicide Squad?
What'd you say?
Suicide Squad?
Yeah, Suicide
The
Squad.
DC one? It's okay, but it's not up to Marvel caliber. That's
It's
the
not,
problem.
but I actually kind of enjoyed it. I did not want to like it in the beginning. The first 30 minutes, I was like, "What the hell is going on
it's
here?"
good because
And then I liked it.
the girl Margot Robbie is great. She's good. So when she's in it, it's good, and when she's not in it, it's bad.
Oh,
and that
the
happens
one
with a
who
lot of
played the
movies.
skater. Is that her name? Yeah,
Harley Quinn.
yeah, she was great. She's always good.
Anyway, Marina, I know you got to go, and we got to call it a day.
I have
And
5
thank
more
you
minutes.
so much. No, we got to go. We got to call.
But I want to hang out
ads.
some more.
Well, I like doing that on your show too, but unfortunately, we have to go.
Oh no!
Thank you so much
Wait,
for coming. And
no.
Jesus, Marina's going to be at Radio City Music Hall Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and at the Comedy Cellar right now, and some of those other days too. Marina's always at the Comedy Cellar, and I can't even believe it. Congratulations, Marina. That's really exciting. Her podcast is Friends Like Us. Thank you so much for joining us.
And
I'll talk to you
check us
later.
out on Saturday at 3 p.m. with Dave Juskow on
And
my
Facebook
YouTube
Live.
channel
It's the most
and
fun.
Facebook Live. Yes.
We can continue the conversation.
Bye.
Bye, Marina. Okay, everybody. We'll be right back with Lenny Marcus at the 7 o'clock hour after these messages.
Continuously update your narratives. We're seeing a lot of the same. Nagy called a horrible game. Nagy looked bad. We're not going into the week saying that.
Pause. Nagy didn't call it a horrible game. I have to give it to him. You got to give credit where credit is due. He called a good game. The run game was really effective. The plays he called worked.
And a run game that I mean, listen, Delvin Cook was shut down completely last week. Completely last week versus defense. David Montgomery came out, 20 carries for David Montgomery for 61 yards. You have to keep going.
I will say this.
Keep going.
You gotta keep the narrative going. I think this narrative actually right here is actually a pretty good take. while I know that there was some drop passes and stuff like that, and I know that he absolutely, Justin absolutely extended those plays.
Yeah.
I absolutely saw why Andy Dalton was starting. And I'm not hating on him. I'm not hating on him at all. But he's just a little more poised right now. It just is what it is.
Here's the thing. We saw when Andy Dalton was in there, absolutely. We saw when Andy Dalton was in there, he was more poised, he was more prepared, he was ready to go. You know what I'm saying? He made the system look good. He made Matt Nagy's system look like, oh my goodness, the system works. They took a couple of deep shots. There were a couple times where the deep shots don't make it. Andy Dalton, unfortunately, on a run play, goes out due to injury. But they did the smart thing. They did the simple thing that I was asking them to do in my 3 keys to a Bears victory. You have to lull them in with the run. You can't go away with the run. And then when they come up, you attack them.
Pat the Designer and the Windy City Breeze, live every Wednesday night from 5 to 7 and available for download on The Contender.
We'd like to take a second and thank you for listening, making us a part of your day. I'm James Flippin, co-founder of The Contender. You may have noticed we cover both DC and Chicago sports. Well, you noticed right. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we cover Chicago with Chicago podcasts, live shows, and features like historical look-backs at the 90s Bulls or 80s Bears, plus commentary on the Andy Dalton signing and the exciting NBA trade deadline bringing in Vooch. On Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday, we're covering the district, DC sports, with Capitals, Nats, and WFT talk, Wizards and college ball sprinkled in. So why these 2 cities? Well, we're visionaries. We plan to become your go-to destination for sports talk in both DC and Chicago. Each will eventually have their own app on your mobile phone. But The Contender, as a brand and as a community, launches now as a DC and Chicago station. So while it may appear a bit strange to be half Washington, half Windy City, you grow step by step, you build day by day, you take your lumps before you rise to contender status. I'm James Flippin, co-founder of The Contender, and welcome to the family.
We've got you covered with non-stop talk about your favorite teams. And the sports content doesn't ever take a break, even when our hosts do. Streaming live 24/7 on thecontender.com. And coming soon on the Contender app. We are The Contender.
So serious. Not here, it doesn't. It's time for picks.
Washington will control the ball.
Laughs. And an overall good time right in the middle of New York City. It's the Comedy Cellar Football Show with Dave Juskow on The Contender.
Yes, my favorite theme from Seinfeld. It makes me so happy every time I hear it. Hello, everybody, and welcome almost to hour 2 of the Comedy Cellar Football Show and The Contender with a K. You will want to download that app, especially if you live in Washington, D.C., talk about the Washington football team, or Chicago to talk about the Bears. And it's a great app. And remember that people all over the country may be watching us on YouTube. But what about when you're on the go? Download the app on iPhone and Android. It's just like any other app, but it's terrific. The Contender with a K. I enjoy working with the people from The Contender. This is the Comedy Cellar Football Show. And you can call in if you'd like at 855-908-5668. Or if you are watching on YouTube Live, you can use our chat room, as a lot of people did while Marina Franklin was on. Isn't she terrific? I can't even believe she is playing Radio City Musical. I know I keep saying it, but it really is. I mean, that's, what are you looking to do in your life? I mean, I guess I'm pretty lucky because I'm not a very good comic. So I've been lucky to do certain things, but wow, Radio City. I mean, that's it. That's what else is there to do? You know, I mean, I guess headline there, but that'll be next for her. She's terrific. She's really good. If you've never seen her perform, I highly recommend it. I just want to tell you that next week we're going to have this woman on. Her name is Kate Herman. And not only is she's a model and a comedian, but Jesus Christ, I mean, I thought she was crazy. And she told me last week, she goes, well, I know everything about football and I'm obsessed with football. I'm like, all right, whatever. You know, because it's a chick, right? You're right. You know what I'm saying? Right? I don't think a girl's going to know about football, right? And she goes, well, I know most. I you know, make a lot of money at, DraftKings, that kind of fantasy stuff I don't know anything about. And I'm like, well, what are you doing this week? And she sent me, she's like, I'll send you my notes. I put in everything she told me to put in, and I won. This woman is coming on the show next week at 6:00. I mean, I am impressed and amazed. She says, I know all the algorithms. I'm like, I love her. So she'll be on next week. Absolutely. I couldn't believe it when she told me. I thought for sure she was just full of crap, but she's not. And then, of course, Greg Fitzsimmons will be joining us. We'll talk about that more later. Hey, Mike, why don't we just show last week's Celebrity 5? This was Rachel's stupid picks. She doesn't know anything about it. Yeah. She got Washington wrong. She got the Jets wrong. She got the Falcons wrong. She got the Cowboys right. Barely. And she got Kansas City wrong. So she went 1-4. And now our consensus is 3-7, our celebrities. Let's take a look at yours and mine, Mikey, and Michelle Fox last week. I went 8-7. Michelle went 7-9. Mike went 4-11, and there was a tie. But our guests, our comedians, are actually leading for the season. We all got the Giants right because they covered, even if they didn't win. We all got the Broncos right because I guess Jacksonville stinks. And I don't know. I was pretty pleased at that. I really could have used the Lions last night, I think. But I thought for sure at the half that was going to completely cover. And then Green Bay went crazy, and the Lions never scored again. And I know a lot of people that were betting the second half Lions to score 9.5. Seemed like a no-brainer. All right, thank you, Mike. So we'll be picking the new ones in a few minutes with Mr. Marcus. But yeah, I mean, that game last night was really, you just didn't know what Green Bay was going to do. I just thought they were, that was still the question. Week 3 is tough. Is Green Bay still a mess? Are they still resentful of the way Aaron Rodgers is, whatever he's doing? And should Aaron Rodgers be mad? I say yes. After they did that ridiculous field goal in the NFC playoffs, I think he's still mad about that. I would have, if I was him, I would have had the coach fired. That's the stupidest move. You go for it on 4th down when you're down by that much and they're playing Tom Brady. It's like, you know, I don't know anything about football, and I know to do that. Take the risk. You're not playing again if you don't make it. It's so stupid. I think he's still mad about that. That's what I believe. And all the nonsense that went overseas, you just didn't know how they were going to play as a team. But they certainly came together when it seemed like it wasn't going to be sure. But what we did learn is that the Lions stink. I guess we'll find that out, that Jared Goff isn't as good than when they made the switch, which I believe. No, they're playing each other in a couple of weeks with the guy that's on the what's his name, who went to the Rams. The guy was on the Lions. Stafford, Matthew Stafford, right? I think that's his name. Boy, that they're going to play each other, and that ought to be an interesting game. We'll talk more about that right now. Actually, let me bring in our 7:00 guest. You can catch his very entertaining podcast with Neil Potter entitled Four Corners on all of your streaming platforms. This summer, he wrote for the MTV Movie Awards, but this Sunday, in a few days, he will once again kick off his co-producing hat as the second season of ABC's Supermarket Sweep with Leslie Jones premieres at 9 p.m. this Sunday. Please welcome Lenny Marcus, everybody. Hello, my friend.
Hello, Dave.
Thank you so much.
Another show.
Yes, and thank you
so
much.
A 2-hour show.
Yeah, I love it. I can go for like 3 or 4, right? They're like, Dave, I think 2 is enough. And I'm like, is it though?
Oh, man. This is what Stafford ate for breakfast yesterday. That'll be hour 3.
Exactly. Right. It just gets me dumb it down a little more.
Right.
But yeah, thank you so much. Lenny's also going to be at the Comedy Cellar tonight or tomorrow.
No, I'm not coming tomorrow night, I think.
Tomorrow, right? I know you're there most of the weekend.
Yep.
Lenny is a staple at the Comedy Cellar, as is Marina. And again, that's why we promote the Comedy Cellar, because it's the best.
It's the best.
And Lenny is a terrific comic as well, but now he's doing so many other things, and he has a kid. I don't know how he has the time to do any of this, and he works for the Giants. My goodness.
Technically, Dave, I told you I work for the league now.
Oh, right, because you work for the NFL now.
Yes, the statisticians all work for the NFL now.
But they don't move you around to another place. They'll keep you in New York.
Yeah. I mean,
would you ever work for the Jets as well, because you work for the league now?
I've been asked that. No, my wife would shoot us because I'm away too many Sundays. Like that, she doesn't even want to give up the 8 to 10 to plus playoff Sundays.
Well, that's what I was going to say. She must be very angry that they added a 9th game.
Oh, I didn't even tell her.
She doesn't know. That's like, wait a minute, I can count this. 1, 2, 3. That's
I think they're on the road for that night.
Like, no, they added on another week. She would never believe you. They added on another week. Nice try, Lenny.
I think they're on the road for that 9th game till next year. I think. I can't remember.
Might be right. I think the Jets added the 9th. Maybe Miami, I think. I can't remember
the Lord.
how it works. But next year, there'll be 9.
That's right. Next year, there'll be 9.
Right.
And then,
well, I told everybody at the introduction that you planned your wedding around them going to London. Yeah,
I did. I planned to go to London, so I got to watch that game at like 9 in the morning. Yeah, whatever.
On your wedding day.
And then get married. Yep.
Goddamn perfect.
So did you.
Yeah, and it was amazing. And your wedding was so much fun. So much fun because, think about this, folks. What's better than going to a guy like Lenny's? It's all comics. It's the best time. You've never laughed so hard and had the best time. It's all the people you like in comedy. You're not going to invite the jerk-offs, even though I was invited, which is a miracle. But no, it was so great, and everybody was so happy, and it was a really great wedding. A lot of times, weddings come and go, but that was a really special one, I guess, because we were all together. Rachel's was good too, because we're all together, all the people, all the comics. It's fun.
Yeah, we're not working. That's also fun. It's a big party with good food. And also, Dave, did you know that this will be in October 23rd will be 5 years? That happened 5 years ago. Crazy.
Is your kid 3 then?
3.
Wow. Yep. Birdie.
Birdie's 3.
Cutie pie. So yeah. Look at that. That's amazing. Yeah, that was so much. Right. It is, right, with all the comics and stuff. It is different than other people's weddings, because when you go to somebody else's wedding, that it's just like, you meet the most unfun people at a normal wedding. That's who you meet, right? The cousins, the friends of other people, and they suck. They're just like boring.
Oh man, my normal people that were there were so happy to talk. They were like, "This is the most fun wedding." I was talking to that guy over there. Like, that guy over there was on Comedy Central last week. They were having a blast. Like, oh, I knew the cash cab guy looked familiar.
Right, Ben Bailey, right?
Yeah,
yeah. Isn't that great? Right, for your normal friends, it's like got to be even more entertaining.
Yeah,
that you're talking to the funniest people. But that was. Yeah, that was great. I remember Dimitri Martin was there, right? I was just thinking about that because I don't see him very often. So it was like nice.
He's in LA. So yeah, he'll be in tomorrow, as a matter of fact. You might see him floating around the city. He's got a gig in New Jersey. So if you're going to go Englewood, I believe. I'm touting other people's shows. Go to see Dimitri in Englewood over the weekend, I think.
Well, that's all right. And Supermarket Sweep, 2nd season, very exciting. What's the word? Is it greater? Is it better? You have a new format, right?
We have a new format for the Super Sweep. It's called the Money Ladder. So you don't have to make a decision, and if you go for it, you lose. They decided to give away more money this year. So we have 90 seconds, as much as you can get. So if you get 5 of them, you get 100,000. You get the first one, you get 5. You get the second one, you get 10. Third one, 25, 50, 100. So you have 90 seconds to get as much as you can get.
I got to
say, we won't take it away.
I watched that show in the first season, and it is very entertaining. Very entertaining. Because
it's a lot of fun. Our friends Neil and Bethel is in it more this year, and we have a lot of new bonuses and stuff like that. Inflatables, you can make anything into a giant inflatable, and I love it. I think I approved everyone. We got a new hot dog, great. New pizza, great. Whatever you got, an inflatable, a giant, whatever.
I know, I agree, all that stuff, and I love when they put it in the cart, the giant thing. I couldn't figure that out at first, and then I'm like, oh, I get it. This is one of the things they have to get on the grocery list. But it's so much fun watching everybody like run around, and it's great when you see people that have it together, because you just really get angry at the people that aren't communicating. Like it just makes you upset. Like, why do you even come on the show?
Oh, you got to see the ones that clunk, that run around the store. It is still television, Dave, and they choke. The lights go on, they have a plan, and then they start running around the store, and they're like, what am I supposed to get again? And they just choke.
Yeah.
And and then it gets really funny because I think one guy took Triscuits. It's very amusing.
I remember, I think I told you once. So remember, my friend, the legendary Wid.
Yeah, I love Wid.
Comic that I love, right? One time I had him on. I had a TV show on A&E years ago, and we had him on because he's an amazing prop comic. I'm telling you, he's unbelievable. But as soon as the lights went on, he couldn't think of a thing. I was like, "What's the matter? You can't think of anything?" And then as soon as the lights went off, we were talking to him like, "Are you all right?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Hey, can of beans, Orson beans." And then as soon as the lights went on, he couldn't get it together again. It is funny. It's like that Cindy Brady bunch up, the classic one where she's on the game show and she's just stuck. And it does happen to people. You think you're like, I got it. And then you realize it's actually happening and you freak.
I think also people don't realize that this store is really big. And
I don't realize. I can't tell on TV.
It's
I was wondering that.
It's huge. So, and they have the top people who go there, it's like 3 minutes, 20 seconds, 3.5 minutes, even like 3 minutes trying to go as fast as you can with that cart and grab as much stuff and think on the fly. These people are exhausted. We had a couple, you watch when they're laying on the ground breathing, that's not television. They're really out of gas. Some of these, you got to train for this. I'm telling you.
That's so fun. Yeah, well, that's something they should think of as well in advance. I mean, I would kind of like to see a show about people that are going to compete in supermarkets, as I showed you that day when that classic Laverne and Shirley episode.
That's right.
When they had the plan. Bosco.
That's right.
Also, the best part about the supermarket sweep, it's just so funny, is that the director is a really good close friend of mine from college. Just a coincidence that I have all these really close friends working on the show, and Lenny got to meet him, and how terrific he is. Rupert Thompson, J. Rupert Thompson.
Rupert's a great guy, and he loves the comedy in the show. We can do no wrong with Rupert. I mean, any of these we come up with the stupid gags, and I explain to him how what do you think on these shots? And he just starts laughing because they're so ridiculous. The Neil gags.
The best. He was the best in college as well when he was just getting it together. Meanwhile, Supermarket Sweep has a really tough task because they have to take on Sunday Night Football. Ratings.
I don't quite understand why they want to do that, but apparently it's just off programming. Like if you're a Supermarket Sweep fan, you're probably not a football person.
That makes perfect sense, of course, right? It's like, what did they used to put on for? What's a great example of that? I'm trying to think. I remember once when Cosby was huge, the Cosby Show. And they would just put and ABC was just trying to keep up because they knew nobody was tuning in. They put on a Snow White show called The Charmings. They're like, well, let's just do something stupid because no one's watching. Why are we even signing on? Yeah, I was friendly with the guy who ran ABC at the time, and he was telling me all this stuff. And it is funny. Next week you got the 49ers Packers game. That's going to be unbelievable. That's your first opening day. Then it gets worse. They got an amazing lineup. Tampa Bay's playing the week after. It doesn't matter who they're playing. Then Bills Chiefs. Yeah. Then Seahawks Steelers. It's all good games. Where you get a break is in week 7. Colts 49ers. They'll probably not put that game on. Like that'll probably be flexed. The Colts are probably going to stink because Carson Wentz stinks. And if they change it to anything, I looked at the schedule. They might change it to Lions Rams because then it's Matthew Stafford against Jared Goff and their other teams, and that still wouldn't. I'd still watch Supermarket Sweep, is what I'm saying. So
I'm trying to figure out how they time it for maybe they time it for halftime now. When it was on at 8:00, and now they moved it to 9. You could at least watch the first 20 before the kickoff. If you really want to see the kickoff, you'd see at least the first half hour if you want to miss the first series. But now at 9 o'clock, I think they're trying to time it for halftime. And then the West Coast, the game will probably be over by then.
Oh, that's perfect. Right. Then you don't have to
so I'm not exactly sure what's happening, but
for me, I only watch the last half of the game anyway. It's I prefer, so I could totally watch Supermarket Sweep and then turn on. But of course, in this day and age, I can still just pause Supermarket Street and watch it during the commercials, which I hate in the NFL.
Exactly.
So it works out for me, and everywhere. That's what I do with the Big Bang Theory all night long on Sundays. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not.
And Dave, a lot of people watch this in like the next 3 days online and the +7. They watch a lot of people watch these television shows like on Hulu the next day, next couple days. It's weird how people watch television now. Like very few people do appointment television other than sports.
I know, because I was just talking about it on the Open. I was talking about the new TV shows. My favorite thing is the stupid fall lineup that used to be my favorite thing.
TV guide.
There's no such thing anymore. I bought the TV fall preview guide. I have it right here.
Is there anything good this year, Dave?
No, it's look what they put on the cover. The comeback of the remake of CSI. I mean, that's the cover. That means they have nothing new.
It's hard to launch a new show
I
now.
know, and it's a Domino's show, and that's the only one I'm going to watch. But otherwise, it's bad news. But I'm the only person that still has a DVR. I think I'm the last one left. Anyway, Lenny, let's make picks.
Let's do it.
I'm going to share the screen. It is time to make the picks.
Oh man, I should have had Brady come do it.
Oh, that would be awesome. She's still around. There's plenty.
I think
of
she's
time.
in the bath.
Oh, okay. Let's
naked
see.
baby pick. Naked baby picks.
Assume you can see my screen.
Nice.
All right. Good.
I was doing pretty good till last.
In our pool.
The afternoon.
You did good the first week, right? Because Lenny and I were in another.
I think I call it the monkey. Like if you had a monkey pick him, he could go 8-8 or whatever it is. And so I basically monkeyed.
8-8 is fine as long as we remain in the.
You got to be on top.
Right, for the season.
Exactly.
Lenny, me, also Neil, security guard Neil from Supermarket Sweeter, and all pool together with Sarah Silverman and stuff. And it's really fun. We've been doing it for years. All right. With a Thursday night game, maybe you can explain it to me. The weird Texans against the 2-0 Sam Darnold. I just want to shoot myself. Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are favored by 7.5, and I did find out today that they are not using Deshaun Watson to quarterback the Texans, even though he's available.
Right.
They're using some weirdo that seemed to suck last week.
Wait, Tyrod Taylor? No, is that?
No,
him?
He's out too.
Ooh.
Yeah, so they're using this other guy, Mills.
Oh boy,
something weird. Do I have to take the Panthers minus 7.5?
That's a tough one, right? I think I'm going to do that.
You're going to take the Panthers? I'll go.
Yeah,
with you first.
I don't think I can. I mean, somebody told me JJ Watt got hurt too? Is that true?
I don't think he plays on the Texans anymore. I think he left.
He did?
I'm not positive. Because
really?
Sometimes I might get JJ and TJ Watt mixed up.
No.
I just assumed he would have left because right now the Texans are so toxic.
You're right. He's on the Cardinals. Oh my God.
I thought. Yeah. Yeah. It was a smart move. It was the time to go. The Texans are in disarray.
Yeah.
Clearly, before the Deshaun Watson allegations, he clearly something was wrong there anyway. Then it's just weird that all this happened. I wanted him to come to the Jets, but thank God he didn't with all this nonsense.
Oh, they were talking to him to the Giants too, but man, talk about this close to getting traded. They should have pulled the trigger on anything for that guy because now he's got a big problem.
Yeah, and they're just leaving him on the bench, and it's so weird. The NFL hasn't made any kind of decision. They could use him, but they're not using him. It's very, very strange.
I guess the Texans are tanking. The Cardinals, Matt Rule, he's a good coach and he plays great D. And you know what? Darnold's not as bad as the Jets thought, I guess.
No, they never thought he was bad. They knew he just had a bad staff around him. That's all it came down to. He was never given a chance, and now he is, and he's just beating up on the Jets, and who was the other one they just beat? Oh, the Saints, the COVID-filled Saints. So why not beat up on this team as well? It's very impressive. Mike Suarez, your pick.
Panthers
too. I guess nobody has oops, why did I do that?
Oh yeah, they're saying Panthers also.
Oh, they are. I think I can see, but then it goes away. Oh no, we're right there, right? Or is that just me? Oh, that's you. Oh, maybe I shouldn't look at sorry. I'm still learning how to use StreamYard. I'm going to move this over that I can see. Okay, then the Colts. That Carson Wentz, he stinks. He's one of those guys that's always going to be injured. I am taking the Titans. I don't even have a problem with it. This guy, it's like he was, it was all good. And then that Nick Foles thing, I think, messed him up for the rest of his life. When you make a statue out of the guy that won the Super Bowl for you, and then you have to, thank God they traded him. But the Colts, again, disarray, Titans all the way. Lenny, your thoughts?
Well, who's the Colts backup? Do we know?
Some idiot that played last week that sucked. I don't know.
Well,
it was very good.
You're not convincing me. I do love what's the running back's name for the Titans? The guy's a beast.
Henry.
Yeah, Henry. But they played.
He was Seahawks last week. It was amazing. Yeah, he's some shit.
Yeah, he is.
So you're taking Tennessee with the points?
I think I'm taking Tennessee with you. Yeah, the Colts have got to get it together at the quarterback position, and I could not agree with you more on that. Carson Wentz is just.
They shouldn't have hired him in the first place. He's an injury machine.
Yep.
Him and Tyrod Taylor, the two of them, they can't get it together. Tyrod Taylor had a problem. I always think the guy from the Chargers, Herbert, made a deal with the devil or something. It's that guy, the doctor punctured his lung. That's not his fault. But then it gets, it's just not meant to be. That's the way it works. Mike,
he's also hurt all the time.
Yeah, your thoughts?
I'm going to go with Tennessee as well. And
I see the chat. Tennessee, yes.
By the way, I thought Tyrod Taylor, for 2 years, that was his nickname. He would take out a tie rod, and that was it. He threatened somebody with a tie rod, so he kept the name Tyrod. No, that's his real name, Tyrod Taylor. It's spelled different.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would spell that.
It's right. Oh, the real way is Tyrod.
I guess that is the way it's spelled. Well, Lenny, here it is.
There it is.
Your stinky Giants and the Daniel Jones, who's never going to be what we want him to be, against the also 0-2 Falcons. Boy, this game is, whoever loses is in big trouble. And I am in the feeling where the Giants shouldn't be favored for anybody. I know that's a home field advantage 3, but I'm going to take the Falcons plus any kind of points.
I'm going to say that this smells of push because I see the Giants winning this game on a last-second field goal only because Gano is so good. But, I don't ever bet with Matt Ryan ever. Ever. I think he's the most overrated. Wait. Write the cards and letters to Dave. I think Matt Ryan may be the most overrated quarterback in the history of the league. They keep telling me he's good, whatever statistic. No. And the Super Bowl proved it that one time,
Well, is that his fault, though? I mean, isn't that the defense fault?
He's figure out a way to get that done.
He put up 25 points last week. It just wasn't enough to beat Tom Brady. It's that defense.
He's got weapons. I don't know. It just somehow look, I'm not going to blame him totally. I'm just saying somehow the Falcons always seem to not get it done. But the Giants are in that same position now. They have that kind of team.
So you taking the Giants or?
Yeah, I'm taking the Giants. Absolutely. 3? They got to win one, and we're at home. Let's go.
Mike Suarez.
Falcons.
With the points.
Right. I'm winning this one, kids. I'm winning this one.
Chat room is taking the Giants.
Baruch Lipkin, say a blessing for us.
All right. Well, Kansas City Chiefs against the very impressive Chargers. I think they lost in the last second in Dallas, in a home the other day to Dallas, even though that was maybe a home Dallas game. I am taking the points on this one. I don't think Kansas City has not been impressing me, even though they always impress. I'm taking the points. That Justin Herbert's the real deal.
Justin Herbert is a real deal. I like him, but oh my God, San Diego. I know this guy's a San Diego fan. A couple of people, they're tortured souls. Every game is close. Every game they always lose by a point.
Right.
They'll win one by 1 point just to keep them strung along, and then they're miserable. I mean, I'm going Kansas City on this one. They're at home. Oh. They're probably pissed that game got away, so I see them in a blowout. They'll somehow – I love Herbert, but he's in for a long day.
Yep, makes sense too. Mike?
I'm going to go Kansas City as well.
And I see the chat room is also going Kansas City. Okay. You know what? I have no problem picking the Steelers -4.5. This is Steelers against the Bengals. The Bengals played horrible last week, and the Steelers, I have to assume, are pissed. I do think this is what you were saying about Kansas City, a very big bounce back game. 4.5 means nothing to me.
I would say that, but did I read today Roethlisberger he could be out.
Oops. Then I changed my pick.
No, but could be out. I know this is one of those. Can I change this later in the week, Dave?
You can't change it later in the week, but in the where it makes difference in our pool, you can change it later. But
I will. I'll go with the Steelers as well. I mean,
if Roethlisberger's playing, folks, we are all in on the Steelers. If he's not, obviously that's a different story. Maybe that's why they're only favored by 4.5.
Maybe
that does make a lot of sense. Mike,
maybe Steelers at home.
I'm gonna go Bengals just to be different.
Oh, nice, because I see the chat room is going Steelers. Thank you, Mike, for putting that up. And then we have the Bears, who really were just okay. They were actually awful last week, I think. I keep getting confused who won that game. The Bengals ended up winning that game last week or losing?
I don't know.
Because I know the Bears. Oh, the Bears lost to the Rams. Okay, so I think they won the game. I couldn't remember. They're 1-1 against the Browns, who I knew couldn't cover all those points. I'm going with the Bears plus the points. I think it's a no-brainer, Lenny.
Well, and is it Andy Dalton for them now? I hate Andy Dalton.
No, I think he's
hurt
out, I believe.
So the kid's playing.
He's awful. Yeah.
Is Foles playing or
Fields? Yeah, I think.
Or Fields.
I don't know. I'm not sure who's playing this week.
Either way, I think Cleveland, this is a game that they could really go crazy. They're stacked. That team is stacked, and when they get rolling, they're tough to stop. So I'm gonna go Cleveland.
You're gonna go Cleveland -7.5 points.
Yeah, I know it's a lot, but I'm going for it.
Mike Suarez.
I'm going to go Cleveland. Chat's going Bears.
All right, the Bears. Again, Baltimore over the Lions +7.5. Oh, man, this is tough. The Lions, what is their story? You want to take them at home. They played well last night and then never scored again in the second half. I mean, Lenny was just talking about it. I know that the second half over was 9.5. I would have taken that in a heartbeat, that they scored 10 points in the second half. They scored nothing. I don't know it's very confusing. They also got blown out on the 49ers, even though they tried to come back. 49ers still covered the spread after their comeback. And the Ravens played a real tough game. This is a really tough one. Lenny, can you go first?
Yeah, Ravens. That kid Lamar Jackson is unstoppable. He is unbelievable. And this game, maybe if we play this game 10 times, 2 out of 10, the Lions will do what they did yesterday to Green Bay. But I think Green Bay is, an FE team. This Ravens team is poised for big stuff. I'm going Ravens.
Do you feel that the Ravens are just kind of coming off like, wow, what an unbelievable win, and now we can take it easy? Or
no?
Okay,
I think they're gonna just light it up. That's what I think.
I listen to what you said, Mike Suarez.
I'm gonna go Ravens. So is the chat.
Okay.
I can't. The Ravens are going to win the game, right, Dave? So I'll take a chance that they blow them out. Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. I never thought about it that way. That's a good way to think about it.
Wow.
Here's the dumb Patriots against the New Orleans Saints. Oh my God, you hear today? The New Orleans Saints dome caught on fire.
No.
I remember why they're not playing there, because it was flooded.
Right.
What the fuck is going on? If there's so much voodoo going on there, it's like something is really messed up in New Orleans. If after you have water damage, then there's a fire, they're never going to be able to go back there. They were supposed to go back there in 2 weeks. They're going to be road warriors for a long time. And I don't know whether COVID was a problem for last week. I'm going to assume it was. They had 7 coaches with COVID. So the Patriots aren't that great. They were playing the Jets last week. You see,
what does that mean? PK slash.
It means it opened at a pick and it went up to 3. The Patriots now are favored by 3. I'm going to take the Saints plus the points and assume it's a bounce back game.
Who's quarterbacking the Saints now?
Jameis Winston. He's pretty good. Although last week they got blown out by Carolina. I don't know. It's a really tough one. If you can tell me the Patriots are going to beat up on the Jets.
The Patriots. I'm going to go the Patriots. I think James is going to have a tough time with Bill Belichick. That defense is pretty good.
I know the chat room is going with the Patriots. Mike?
I'll say the Patriots too.
You will say the Patriots too. Well, I guess I'm picking with my heart, not my head, and that never works. You know what? Jacksonville stinks. I always try and give them plays. I'm going with the Cardinals, even though they played an unbelievable game. They keep having to go back and forth, East Coast, West Coast, but I don't think it matters with them. This guy, Kyle Murray, is unbelievable. Screw Jacksonville. I don't know what they're doing over there. I'm taking the Cardinals -7.5.
It's tough to give 7.5 on the road, but I'm going to go with you because I don't know.
Jacksonville stinks. They just can't. Again, they can't score 10 points in the second half. At least with Blake Bortles, they always used to, at least in the second half. Chat room's going Cardinals. Mike Suarez.
Cardinals. Jacksonville stinks.
They stink. And that's with Trevor Lawrence, and we were so upset we didn't get him. I mean, maybe these guys, I hope they work it out.
Nah, it takes a while. I mean, these rookie quarterbacks, you can't expect that much early.
I know. Well, especially with the Jets, we'll never expect anything.
Well, just look at, like you were saying before, the Rams traded their young quarterback who's like, the first, second pick of the draft for basically an old man, who maybe have 2-3 years left. That's how much they didn't care for Jared Goff. And then Wentz, we both said he sucks. So that was the 1 and 2 pick. Can't miss quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
And so Trevor Lawrence, you're going to have to prove it.
Yeah, exactly. And he's not proving. And that's why it doesn't bother me that much about Zach Wilson, because
it takes a couple years.
Trevor Lawrence is doing bad too.
Yeah.
I'd be really upset if we missed out on the number 1 pick and he was just killing it. It would be so upsetting. So this doesn't make me feel that bad. This is a really tough game. Obviously, the Bills destroyed the Dolphins. They did have a comeback game. They were pissed. They are as good as we think they are. Washington, we know, has a defense. So this is a tough one. The Bills minus a lot of points. But their quarterback isn't very good, but he seems to keep them in games. Lenny, what do you think?
I love the Bills. I think they're one of the best teams in the league. I don't know what happened to them week 1, but they got a killer defense, and the Giants have an okay defense, and that they never get to the quarterback. Well, the Bills are about to get to the quarterback. I mean, let me tell you this with Washington. I don't want to convince you, Dave.
You already did.
But what was the tackle that played for the Giants all those years that was awful? They moved him inside to left guard or something like
Jumbo Elliott? I'm kidding.
No. Oh man, it's gonna hit me. But yeah, he was so bad we had to go out and get Nate Solder. He was like
that Flowers guy that you hated?
Flowers.
You hated that guy for the day he was drafted.
Yeah, I hated him then. I hate him now, and now he's in their guard. And forget it. I'm taking the Bills. They're gonna put a serious whomp on Washington at home.
The chat room agrees with you, little Mikey Suarez. What do you think?
Same. Bills.
The Bills. All right, this is the goddamn Denver Broncos against the Jets. I am completely 10.5 points. It's the highest spread of the week. Why would it be any otherwise? The Broncos are playing amazing, or are they? They beat the Jets, and who's the other team they played last week? That they
beat the Giants.
The Giants, right? And what was the team that they're 2-0? Who they just play last week?
I don't know. You're supposed to have this data in front of you. You're a football podcast host.
That's the question. They beat the Giants and they beat somebody else that's questionable, but the Jets stink. So I have to take the 10.5 in the Broncos.
They beat the Jaguars.
That's right. They beat the Jaguars. Right.
23-13.
Jaguars and the Giants.
That's right.
And this is their first home game, I guess.
They literally only let up 13 points a game. I'm taking the Broncos. You do not have enough points for me to take the Jets.
Right.
You don't. This would be 20.5.
I've taken the Jets twice to cover, and they always let me down. So why don't I take this and hope that they're going to win the game?
That's
Mike Suarez, what do you think?
I'm going to say Broncos also.
I see the chat room is picking the Jets cover. You're insane, Burrow.
All right. Good luck with that one.
They stink. And here's another case that it opened as a pick'em and moved up to 3.5. My guess is because the guy whose name I could never pronounce, must be some sort of injury or something. Obviously, the Raiders are 2-0. They've been amazing the last 2 weeks. Amazing. Beating the Ravens at home in an amazing Monday Night Football game. Beating Pittsburgh on the road. And the Dolphins ate shit last week.
The Dolphins, he got hurt too. He got broken ribs.
Yeah, so he's another one of those guys, totally injury prone. I didn't like when they hired him. I'm like, why you're hiring this guy already injured? You're drafting him already injured. It's a huge mistake.
I like the Raiders in this game.
Yeah, I think I never like them to cover, when they're favorites. But yeah, I think you got to take them because the Miami. I don't know, Miami. I wish it was 3. 3.5 is bothering me, but I'm going to take them. Lenny, you're taking them, and Mike Suarez.
I'm going to go Miami just because we've been picking the same people all through this thing. And they're going to pick the Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah. I like. Oh, sorry, I picked the wrong one, but I'll fix it. Don't worry. The Raiders seem like they're always on the road, but yeah, I'd like to see them go 3-0. I don't know. I like that they're in Vegas now. I think it's cool. This game, the Seahawks against the Vikings. The Vikings really, it was amazing what Arizona clearly has no defense at all. That game was unbelievable, back and forth from the very opening kickoff to the very last thing. I wonder if that happens again this week. I think the Seahawks will win, but I don't know. The Vikings played very good last week. I'm not sure. Lenny, you go first this time. I can't make up my mind.
That was the Bengals, right? Mm.
Who, the Bengals with what?
No, the Vikings-Bengals. That's the game you were talking about, that the Vikings played well, or is it the Cardinals?
No, that was against the Cardinals.
Oh, the Cardinals. Mm.
They lost by a point, and they scored a lot of points.
I'm going to go with Seattle. I love Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I think they'll pull this defense together. I don't know why. I mean, they don't have the run. Wait, let me think about that for a second. Is Dalvin Cook okay? Because they had a lot of trouble with I'll just stay with Seattle. I love Russell Wilson. Let's let him go.
I'm gonna take the Vikings. I don't know why. I kind of want Seattle to win, but I just feel like the Vikings are due. I think they might be. Are they 0-2? I don't know. It's plus points at home. It's hard to stay away.
Yeah,
from
the
that.
Vikings are 0-2.
They scored a lot of points last week. I don't know. Mike Suarez, what do you think?
I think Seattle. I think they know what they're
I
doing.
know the chat room's picking Seattle too. Well, here's an interesting one. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the LA Rams, both 2-0. I am no way picking against Tom Brady. It's a no-brainer for me. The Rams are okay, but they played Chicago and what was it, Detroit, right? Or am I crazy that they played Detroit last week? I can't keep track of
the Rams.
Yeah.
Again, Dave.
Sorry. I know. I never look at the
Get a laptop in front of you. I think they beat the Colts 27-24.
Oh, the Colts. That's right. Yeah, you know what? Tampa Bay might be the pick of the week.
I'm gonna go with I'm going with Tampa. I think they're trying for a perfect season here. I'm not joking.
Yeah, they're not just trying. It's this guy. If you're choosing Belichick or Brady, we already know the answer. It must have been Brady all these years. I mean, think about it, Lenny. Why didn't, with all their 6 Super Bowl wins, how did the Patriots never, in any of 6 Super Bowl wins, never blew anyone out, ever? Always close. And Tom Brady at the end always had to pull it out, which means Belichick didn't have a plan, which means that it is Tom Brady. How do you never blow anyone? You go to 6 Super Bowls, you never blow out? The Steelers, the 49ers, all the ones that were the greats, they always had 1-2 blowout games, Super Bowls. It's kind of weird. Brady's the man. Mike Suarez.
Oh, Bucks.
Yeah, we already know this, right? Of course, and the peanut gallery. So here's the game that you hate that is ruining your livelihood and your daughter's livelihood. The great game of the Green Bay Packers and San Francisco 49ers. They're both really good. I'm taking the points and the Packers. Taking the points. That's the key.
They're good. I like San Francisco in this one. I think they're at home. Place is going to be going crazy Sunday night. And I don't know. Rodgers plays great one week, bad one week. Great one half, bad one half. I just think he, like you said when I was coming on, he hates them.
Yeah.
And I think he you could see it in his face. He's not really happy to be there. I don't think he's having fun.
And that's hard for the team to come together like that. Maybe they just keep losing on the road. Like I said, I'm only taking the points. I don't know if they're going to win. Mike Suarez?
49ers.
And the chat is taking the Packers. And here's the final game Monday night. Both your favorite teams. Marina already bet against Keith Robinson and took the Eagles. So this is a really tough one for me. The Eagles played very unbelievable lackluster after an unbelievable opening week. But of course, as we know, as we just discussed, they were playing the Falcons when they were on fire. I think Dallas, even though it's a rivalry, I don't know. They've been, they had that game against the Bucs, which they played really well. They obviously played good enough last week to win when nobody expected them to win, but that 3.5 is tough in a rival game. But I'm going to take the Cowboys. What do you think of that?
I think that's good. I think, the Eagles have a really good defensive front, and then they started off like a house on fire last week, and then they got neutralized. And Dallas has a great O-line, and that's why Dak Prescott always
have
good.
A great O-line.
I'm going with Dallas. I mean, I think Dallas is underrated. I do. They
are underrated.
Yeah.
And Mike, what do you think?
I like to see Keith smile this week, so Cowboys.
Oh, see Keith smile, right? Fuck you. We like to always bet against Keith. The chat room likes the Cowboys as well. So we're all taking the favorite on Monday Night Football. That ought to be a very exciting game. And those are our picks for week 3. Comedy Cellar Football Show. And yes, I just actually just a few more things, Lenny. If I'll share my screen again. I don't know why I cut it out. Let me. I put these pictures together for us. So, here we go. Like this. Sorry. Here we go. Just a couple of pictures before we call it an evening. Can you see that, Mikey? Everybody can see my screen.
Tune in for hour 7 of Dave's radio show.
This is Darius Slayton missing the Shore touchdown.
Why, Dave?
Fuck
you.
Well, because I'm a Jets fan, and this is.
Well, you know what? If you watch that play, Jones was ever so slightly harassed at the last second. He didn't get it off clean. But this guy's got to catch that ball.
Grow up, Lenny. Grow up.
Catch the ball, Darius.
This is Patrick Mahomes having a bad snap at the Ravens game. But how can you not have a bad snap if that huge screen is right in front of you? This is, I guess, in Baltimore Stadium. You see the size of that TV screen in front of him?
Yeah.
How can you concentrate?
Well, I hope he's watching the guy's ass in front of him, not that screen.
Well, clearly he was watching the screen on that one. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's like, it's just kind of funny. Lenny, you're the only person I know like me with I like football and show tunes. You like football and fashion.
Yeah.
Did you
I saw this. I mean,
Met Gallery.
All I know is for the Met Gallery that Amy one time came back and said Amy Schumer said she hated this. She hated the event. Like they took I don't know. She says it's the most boring event. They look great on the carpet, and then you walk in and it's like there is no air in the room. It's brutal.
Yeah, it's like the porn awards. But Lenny, can you tell me what everybody's wearing in this picture?
No, it looks like something out of Star Wars. To be honest with you, I think that's the point too.
For those people watching at home, it's just a picture. It's Timothy Chalamet. I think Rihanna. I'm not sure who the person in the middle is. That's not Iman, is it? She's too young, I think.
I don't know who that is.
Is it Nicki Minaj on the right or?
I think that's Nicki Minaj
and then Little Nas, maybe.
Little Nas X. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, they're there. And then
that's what I would wear right there. Full black.
Yeah. This is Kim Kardashian in Balenciaga. Do you know what?
Balenciaga. Yeah.
He knows.
Yeah.
She is wearing a full black. I mean, it's weird. What kind of statement is that?
I think it's cool. She's Batman. She's Batgirl, whatever it is.
Why cover your face like that?
Because it's insanely fashionable. That's high fashion. It's like it's so stupid. You're like, who's
And this
who wears Crocs?
Her stepsister's super hot Kendall Jenner in Givenchy.
Givenchy. This is Dave. This is the new trend, like see-through, so you could see everybody's underwear no matter what. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
Well, when you look like that, that's quite all right.
I would, you could see my underwear if I look like that. Sure.
And all right, so this is Vera Wang. Guess what she's wearing, Lenny?
I think that's a wedding dress. That's what she's famous for designing.
Yeah, but what's the name of the designer?
Vera Wang.
That's right. Vera Wang's wearing Vera Wang. It's the best picture I've ever seen.
Yeah. She needs
like
a sandwich. Do they feed you at the Met Gallery?
Really not.
Yeah.
I think we all know there's no food at the Met Gallery.
But she's amazing. She's like 70. She looks wearing that. She's like 70 and she's wearing that at 70 or something. It's crazy.
That was Megan Thee Stallion, not Nicki.
Oh, okay.
Well.
Sorry.
Very racist.
Sorry.
Yes. Megan Thee Stallion. You know what's weird? I actually met her and hung out with her before and I still forgot I saw her.
Really?
I'm bad with all names and faces.
Wait, you hung out with her?
Yeah, her and Tiffany Haddish.
What were you guys talking about? The pick of the week?
Yeah, I didn't know who she was at the time, and then I started listening to her.
Megan, what do you think? The Stallion, the Broncos? What do you think?
Anyway, this is check it out, Lenny. I met Julian Edelman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really, really exciting. There's the Roastmaster General on the right-hand side. Like I said, for those of you listening on the Contender app with a K, if you tune in to the YouTube show, you can see the picture of me and Julian Edelman. You know what he says to me, Lenny?
He says, Hag Sameach. He's one of the few Jews in football.
Well, this was right after Yom Kippur. He was fasting all day. And it was great. And I was telling us at the beginning, I said, hey, I'm going to add you to the movie Airplanes leaflet on greatest Jewish sports legends. Now that's now it might have to be a pamphlet.
Yeah, it's funny.
But I go, hey, sorry, I'm a Jets fan. And he goes, oh, so am I. And I'm like, really? And he goes, yeah, we love playing the Jets. I'm like, all right, a wise guy. Huh?
Funny.
Yeah. And there is me and the Roastmaster and Rachel and her baby and her husband.
Frankie.
Right at the Comedy Cellar.
Little Frankie. I like
Frankie.
it. Yeah.
Isn't that cute? Staring at the Roastmaster General like she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Happened to that guy.
And here it is, Supermarket Sweep with Leslie Jones, the season 2 ad premiere, which she's sitting on like a little queen.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Yep.
It's a great ad campaign, Lenny. That's amazing.
It is. She looks great.
Yeah.
So.
And what about this? Here's Lenny and Leslie pretending they are contestants on the show. I love that picture. And this is the better one, Team Assholes.
Yeah, Leslie made him do that. She thought it was hilarious. And
it is hilarious. It's completely hilarious. And here, Lenny is so kind. These are our friends, Bethel, who now is the Bethel barista, DC Benny, a terrific comic who he has, and security guard Neil Potter. These are his best friends, and he got him a job on the show, which is what you're supposed to do.
And that's on to left. That's Rich, and he is one of Leslie's oldest and dearest friends.
He was Leslie's friend. He's a black guy, so I knew that it wasn't one of your friends. No offense, but yeah, I was like, "Well, who's the black? Oh, Leslie's friend, right." No, he seems really nice. Isn't that nice? That's what people are supposed to do. Terrific job, Lenny, putting that together for everybody. And this final picture, I just found this. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
What?
This, I picture you doing this while you're in charge. This is Judy Garland filming the Wizard of Oz, taking a break with the midgets beside her, going like, "Boy, she thinks she's so full of herself." I love that.
That is Hollywood right there in a nutshell.
As a matter of fact, we have to go. So,
all right,
Mike, can you play that video of Lenny that I sent you today?
Oh no, don't.
No, we have to. It's awesome.
Right here.
Hi, we're here at the offices of one of the big executive producers. Let me see if he'll come out. Wanted on the set, Mr. Marcus. Oh, thanks. Oh, here he is. Finished 2:11. Oh, yeah, I'm a little busy, you guys. I got the door.
I'm sorry. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. It's
one of my great.
Going into his office, and then they find out it's the toilet.
One of my great ideas. I had to take my mask off and risk it for that little video.
You did the right thing. It's really funny. Hello, Anita from London. That's very. Oh, that's so nice. It's yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, I guess I breezed through the slides because I just wanted to, get through everything and show you that stuff and promote Supermarket Sweep Sunday night at 9:00. Well, I guess Eastern and Pacific.
That's right, and Pacific. Yes,
right.
We'll start off with Eastern and then.
Right, but if you do live in Chicago and we do broadcast into the Contender app, broadcast into Chicago and Washington D.C., it would be at 8:00. But Lenny, thank you so much for joining us today. It is so nice to see you. Thank you for taking you are a busy man. You're doing comedy live. You're doing Supermarket Sweep. You're doing your other thing. You're doing podcasting. You're doing your writing. Thank you for taking the time out. You're doing the Giants. Oh, you're going on Sunday. I think I'm going to go for a little bit.
I am. Maybe I'll stop by. Yeah, I'm going on Sunday.
Yeah, I think Lee's going to make the scallops, so it should be okay.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah, I can't decide. It's either that or a charity walk over on the West Side Highway. I'm trying to do both, but I don't know. I think I might go to the tailgate this week. Anyway, Lenny Marcus, everybody, Supermarket Sweep, Sunday night at 9. You can totally watch the Packers 49ers game, and during the commercials, make sure you just keep pausing Supermarket Sweep. It's exactly what I do because, the commercials are, we can pause the football game and go back to Supermarket Sweep. It's perfect, right?
Yeah.
I guess he doesn't care. All right, Lenny Marcus, everybody. Good night, Lenny. Thank you so much.
Yes, pause the game. Watch the show. Sorry.
That's okay. Bye, Lenny.
Bye, you guys.
Lenny Marcus, everybody.
Thanks for having me.
Terrific guy. And it's always funny when people just say they're done. But yes, Supermarket Sweep and goddamn it, Marina at Radio City Music Hall. What a show we had today. It was super fun. All right, so next week we have that woman, Kate Herman, really pretty model. These models have been helping me through the pandemic to make money. It's really funny. I have this other girl, Sophia, woman, that helps me with stock tips or whatever. And this other model helps me select a fantasy team, which I don't know that much about. But she'll be on our 6 o'clock hour. Her name is Kate Herman, and she's so pretty. It's actually distracting. But she really knows her stuff. I mean, I was just amazed how she was able to. She said, yeah, don't worry. I thought for sure she was just full of shit. But she's not. And it was really something else. So Kate Urban joining us at 6. And then, of course, at 7, our really good friend Greg Fitzsimmons will be joining us. And he's the best. He's so funny. He's an amazing comic. He'll be in, I think, Connecticut this week. He'll be in San Francisco. Next week, we'll give his dates out when he's on the show next week. And then the week after that, I believe we're going to have our old friend Colin Smith on. And possibly our friend Nick, who they play at the Cellar every Monday night. So I think we're going to have a little musical interlude for probably the 7 o'clock hour. Do a little music action. Why not mix it up? Maybe the first of every month we'll do a little music show, and then of course we'll have somebody making the picks between the 6 and 7. How we like to mix it up in the coming months, weeks. We also have Gilbert Gottfried and Frank Santapadre scheduled to join us, which should be super fun. And like I said, I'm trying to get Julian Edelman and Sarah Silverman on, but I might have to switch the days of the show because it's kind of worth it. So I just hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Don't forget the Contender app. And next week we'll try and get phone calls again going, but it doesn't matter. We have each other. We have the chat room. What do we need anybody else for? We have Mike Suarez, who's amazing. The Contender app. Remember, yes, Mike is in New York. You might be able to see him at comedy clubs. Where are you performing, Mike, while you're here?
I'll be at Uncle Vinny's next weekend.
Next week, New Jersey, my favorite. Yeah. Excellent. Uncle Vinny's next weekend. Who are you working with?
I'm not sure. I got to check.
Oh, I was hoping maybe it was Don Jameson or somebody like that.
It's not him, no.
Okay, commercial-free sports talk on the web, our free app. Go download iPhone and Android. Listen, folks, I'll see you next weekend, the Comedy Cellar Football Show. I can't wait to see you again. It's been a wonderful week. We'll see you next week on the show. Good night, everybody.